This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first two guests today are both from Child and Family Services. I have Annette Fortier and Meg Nisbet. Hi and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you. And today we want to focus on talking about licensing and recruitment. So Annette, I'll start with you. What is Child and Family Services of Northeast Michigan? I know that I know what it is, but maybe some of our viewers don't know.
Child and Family Services of Northeast Michigan is a private, non-profit agency that provides services to families and children in need.
Okay, so what kind of services do you offer?
We offer foster care, adoption, day one, licensing, treatment foster care, orientation and pride, and we have the Great Start Collaborative and Great Start Quality Resource Center.
Okay, so what is foster care?
Foster care is a temporary situation that provides a child who has been removed from the home a safe and loving environment.
Okay, so what's the difference between adoption and foster care?
Adoption is permanent, foster care is temporary.
Okay. Now, Meg, how many children do you estimate are in foster care in Michigan?
Right now, the numbers are about 14,000 in the state on any given day. And about 3,500 are waiting for adoptive families in Michigan.
Okay. What would be some reasons that someone would be in foster care?
It's circumstantial. Something has happened in the home. Sometimes parents have lost jobs and they're unable to care for their children. Some don't really have the parenting skills necessary to raise children. But most of it is circumstantial and can be changed, because the goal, of course, is reunification with the family.
So get the kids into a safe environment and work on the problems that are at home so they can be reunited with their families.
Yes.
Okay. And I know you're trying to recruit in all your different counties that you serve. So why is it so important to have so many foster homes in each county?
Well, right now, just in Alcona, Alpena, and Montmorency County, there's about 100 children in foster care. If a child is removed from the home, that's created a trauma for them. Mm-hmm. If they have to then go, let's say, placed in Detroit, now they've left their schools, their friends, their churches, their neighborhoods. And so having local families, being able to foster children, keeps the amount of trauma down for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, how do you find foster families?
Well, that's part of the recruitment program. We're looking at different types of care. Let's say a child is medically fragile. So we might look at the hospitals and people that work at the hospitals who have some medical training, or people who are willing to become trained. We're going into faith-based systems and asking for help. Every family, I think, out there is a nurturing family, and once they don't think about the rewards that they will have.
Oh, yes.
And being a foster family is so rewarding. You're changing the future of a child. And once people understand that we will support them, Child and Family Services has a myriad of supports in place and training to help them along the way. I think that more people would be more encouraged.
Okay. Now, someone out there might be saying, I work a full-time job and I do this and I do that. I can't have a child in my home, but I want to help. And there's a bunch of ways they can help.
They can, both for families or for businesses or service organizations. Let's say you are a beautician. You could provide haircuts for foster kids or foster families, or a business. A restaurant could offer, a free meal for a foster family. Anything, if you would just think about what would I need if I had a foster child, and how could I support this? Transportation is a huge issue. Getting foster kids to appointments or visits with the biological family. There's just hundreds of ways that they can support. Donations. to the agency, like car seats.
Oh, sure.
Anything you can think about that a family would need, coupons, gift certificates to support the family. And think about, there's a lot of what we call kinship foster homes, which means the child might be staying with grandma and grandpa. Now think about grandma and grandpa. Now with a young child in the home, golly, they can use a lot of support in terms of coupons or activities or what we call respite care.
Sure, respite care. That would be a great one.
It would. So the family could have a date night or get a weekend off.
And one of the questions we have here is, how can churches help? And right off the bat, I can see that, make it your monthly thing to donate items for foster families.
Absolutely.
Gift certificate or school items or anything like that could help. All right, so let's go back to licensing for a moment again. So now someone calls Child and Family Services and they say, oh, I'm interested. I think I have the time and the energy. I really want to help. I'd like to become a foster family. Or foster home. I'd like to have a foster home. What's the first thing that they have to do?
First thing we would do is provide them with information on an orientation. Being licensed is a very intense process.
And it should be.
And it can be very invasive to some people and very intense, and we really want to make sure you're going to be committed to the process, because the process we like to think is 6 months, but it can go longer. And then there are rules and regulations that you have to meet to be licensed. The size of your home, are there regresses, are you financially able to take on this extra responsibility? So again, it's very intense. It's quite a long process.
Okay. And one thing we want to make sure that everyone understands is that Child and Family Services is with you every step of the way, through the licensing process, through the foster care family adoption. You're never alone. You do get a stipend, but we want to let people know it's certainly not enough to live on.
It's a reimbursement
right,
for expenses.
For expenses, basically, that's what it is. So if you have a home and a heart and you want to share it with someone in your community and, like you said, make a difference in their life, how do we get in touch with you?
We have several different ways. You can call us. Our phone number is 356-4567. We also have a Facebook page, and we'll be having brochures out in the community and watch for events.
Okay.
And I'd like to add that we are in the process of building a brand new website that's really going to be excited.
I saw that when I went to check it. Yes, very good.
Yes.
Thank you both very much for being here. We're out of time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well,
Thanks for
thank you
having
for
us.
having
Thank you.
us.
I'll be right back with the Children's Advocacy Center following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My last two guests are both from the Children's Advocacy Center. I have Kelly Seffernick and Caitlin Moffett. Hi and welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
I'm so glad to have you here now. Started a few months ago. I've been having someone from the Children's Advocacy Center come every couple of months. I always think, boy, I know everything there is to know. But after talking to you two today, I'm learning so much more about it. Why don't you start us out and tell us about your part of what you're here for today?
Well, I am the program director of the Children's Advocacy Center, the coordinator, and what that consists of at the Advocacy Center is we do take our referrals from CPS and law enforcement on alleged victims of child abuse and neglect. And what that consists of, after a phone call is put into central intake for the Department of Human Services, and it is processed through law enforcement and Child Protective Services, they contact our office, and we conduct the forensic interviews, the medical exams, we navigate the child through the process of the child abuse and neglect prosecution, healing, and that.
So it sounds like it's a 24-hour-a-day job.
It can be. It can be. We do have an on-call process for those after-hours allegations that do come in that are urgent and emergent that may need a forensic interview or a medical exam.
And it sounds like this is something that would involve a great deal of training.
It does. We are accredited by the National Children's Alliance, and that are standards that we have to meet to get that accreditation. And one of the standards is that your medical providers are accredited through their training for child abuse and neglect evaluations.
Okay, wonderful. Caitlin, it's your turn.
Well, part of the Child Advocacy Center is intervention, but we also have a piece that is prevention. And so part of what I do is prevention with the community on child abuse and neglect. So there's a big issue, and I think in order to be part of a solution, you have to know what that issue is. And so I provide certain trainings and just presentations on what child abuse is, what child sexual abuse is. And this is offered to moms, dads, grandparents, teachers, whether you're a teenager who babysits or you have children of your own. We're offering an education on what this looks like and why it's important to protect our children.
And you know, child abuse takes so many different forms that, you know, people maybe don't realize that this is child abuse. And I love the education piece of what you do, because I know I've had conversations with people and I'll go, that's child abuse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it really is. You know, they don't understand, and the education is so important.
Very much.
And then where do you get your referrals from? I mean, where do the referrals come from child abuse? Are they from just everyone in the community, or how are those leads followed up on? What's the process?
It's a good question. Well, oftentimes we don't think that we can make a difference, and so we know that you know, teachers are mandated reporters, and we have mandated reporters by law that are required to report, but anyone can be a reporter and call in on a suspicion, or if they know of a situation, and that goes right through Central Dispatch, and then, as Kelly had mentioned, goes to DHS or CPS and is followed up. And that's what we're trying to say is, you know, we're raising awareness for this issue so that we know as a community, as individuals, we can step up to the plate and protect our children. And so I offer a training, it's called Stewards of Children Sexual Abuse Prevention Training. And so I ask, you know, individuals come out to those and contact me to put together a training. And they can reach me at 989-340-0960.
So a church group, a civic organization, a service club, anyone who was interested in learning more, you could set up a training for them or a time to come in and just talk to them about the many faces of child abuse.
Many faces, yeah.
There is many faces of child abuse, and we at the Child Advocacy Center, we would like to take the time to assume their discomfort. When a child comes into the Advocacy Center, whether the discomfort may be just being embarrassed of the situation that they're in, or being in pain from physical abuse, or the fact of worry or sorrow of what's going to happen to me now.
Next.
Us as professionals want to assume that discomfort and help them along the way with that.
Okay. And for someone to access your services, I know you gave a number, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, they would reach me at 989-358-3564.
Okay.
And then the central intake number for Department of Human Services, which has been posted on billboards in our area, is the 855-444-3911.
Okay, and if
That's
someone...
the reporting number.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
to
if someone
report.
has just, say, something confidential, I just want to ask a question. Is that the number they would call, say, this is something I've observed, this is something I've seen?
Is this abuse? Is this not abuse?
Yeah, right.
Maybe a question on that.
They could call me at the Children's Advocacy Center.
Okay, all right. And then how can just regular people like myself in our community, how can we help? What can we do to be stewards of stopping child abuse in our communities?
Well, one of the best ways is be a part of it. So either be involved with training or support the CAC with finances, or coming out to some of our events that we've had. We just got done with the Pigs and the Heat benefit hockey game.
I saw that. Very good.
And in March we'll come back and we'll talk to you a little bit more about our upcoming gala.
Okay.
But just be aware and be a voice, but also In the future, we'd like to establish a speakers bureau where passionate people who want to come out but maybe say, I don't have a degree, but I want to talk for this and I want to be a voice, they can come forth and we can give them some opportunities to share. But it's really just taking that first step and saying, I want to be a part of the solution. I'm going to find a way to step into this. And that's a lot of the time just coming to trainings.
Okay, and then when you have a training scheduled or an event, how can we find out about those?
Well, usually I post them online or have flyers out.
Okay.
But Kelly
the website, we have a website, and we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So they'll be posted on those, both.
Okay. Well, and talking about passion, I just want to thank both of you very much for being here today, because your passion for your job shows, and it's comforting to know that, there's some watchful eyes on the children in our communities.
Thank you.
I know when you look at the paper and read the Free Press and hear it on the news, it's
among us.
Heartbreaking, and you just can't even understand how any of these things could ever happen. Babies are to be kissed and hugged and loved. They're not to be hurt in any way, shape, or form.
They are a precious gift.
They are. Thank you both very much. I look forward to talking to you next month.
Thanks so much.
Thanks
for having us.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Joynton following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joynton, president of Alpena Community College. Returning to the program this morning is Brandon DeRock. Welcome back, Brandon.
It's good to be here.
And you're a student just about to graduate in May from the Marine Tech program, one of several who are the first ones through.
Yeah, it's me and two other Marine Tech students, Andrew Augustin and Mike Dunham. They would have been here, but they had prior obligations. But we're really excited to graduate and enter this workforce of marine technology with underwater robots, so we're excited for that.
I believe that all three of you began with the program not 2 falls ago, but the previous summer when you took some diving instruction at the Marine Sanctuary. Is that correct?
Yeah, we all started in the underwater diving classes, which ran us from basic scuba skills all the way to rescue diver, and then we further our scuba knowledge with the research diver with Luke and Kathy.
Luke Claburn and Kathy Taskey, I believe. Maybe that's maybe there's another name for Kathy. But,
and Kathy Trax.
That's right.
Yeah, they were great. Then we did the on-water portion with Luke and Kathy as well on the Pride of Michigan, which was really exciting, getting that old Navy boat out on Lake Huron. And
well, looking back to how you started in the program, what got you interested in the field and coming to ACC to pursue it?
I was originally going to ACC for CAD engineering technology, and I expressed to Dave during transferring into the CAD engineering technology that I wanted to focus on either aviation robotics or space robotics, and he marine boat design, so naval architecture and stuff. And he eventually, later in the semester, he told me about the marine technology program that focused on underwater robots, and so I just kind of was and jumped into it.
That's great. We're talking about David Cummins, who teaches the computer-aided design classes for ACC, but also has been in the leadership of starting up the Marine Tech program and promoting it and developing it. So it's really great. What have you liked best about the program in your 3 semesters now that you've completed in the 4th one? Or actually 4 semesters, including the summer.
Yep. I'm going to have to say the people, and that includes the instructors and the fellow students in the program. I mean, we're all going through this program together. It's changing a little bit. Each year there's new classes being added, and we're going along for the ride, and it's been enjoyable. I mean, everything's been quite relevant to the field we're going into, and there's so many things you can do with the marine robotics that there's just too many classes that you can have for just a 2-year program, and finding that right mixture, but working with all these great people like the people at NOAA, all of them being highly supportive and
yes, one of the things we're proudest of is the partnership with the Marine Sanctuary, or the NOAA facility as it's known here in town. What's your perspective on that? How has that worked to help people in the program?
I mean, Andrew Augustin, he works at NOAA, so he's already quite knows all the people at NOAA quite well. Another member who's a first year for the program, but he's been at college, ACC, for quite a while. He works on Lady Michigan, but everyone has enjoyed the resources and the facilities of the NOAA and their staff. I mean,
what a dynamic group of people over there, and great programs. What I like about the connection is we have a goal for the whole college from the ACC trustees that says whenever we can run our programs in partnership with other entities to expand learning opportunities, we should do that. So this is a prime example of us carrying out what the trustees have directed us to do. And moreover, it's so much fun and so gratifying to work with the folks at the sanctuary. So I'm glad to hear your report about it. Now, you mentioned employment opportunities. What kind of prospects would you be having when you graduate?
Oceaneering has been, from what I can gather, has been a big supporter of the program. I mean, they've got us in contact with GRI, who we were able to get an ROV simulator for the program.
Right.
And we've gotten some time on the ROV simulator, which if we were to go to Oceaneering, we'd be practicing on the simulator there, and it's the same simulator that they have down there.
Great. If you could train on the technology they'll be using on the job, that's real attractive to an employer. Oceaneering, I believe, is a offshore oil and gas development support company, headquartered in Houston, but with facilities in Louisiana as well. And so working in that capacity, some people know that ROVs were critical in addressing the issues with the Deepwater Horizon accident about 3 years ago. And it was ROVs that were really instrumental in stopping the flow of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. And so because of that accident and a number of other things, scientific monitoring, other applications for research as well as service to industry, ROV, the industry is really expanding rapidly.
And it's not even just Oceaneering. They don't even work on just ocean ROVs. They also have a space systems part, and that's based in Austin. And we met with one of their representatives, and that seems really cool because you get to not only design, work for a company that's...
And you're going to be interacting with Oceaneering in New Orleans coming up here pretty soon, so I know you're looking forward to that. Well, we need to wind it up, but thank you very much, Brandon, for being on the program today. Congratulations on your success and best wishes for your future as you appreciate the value of an ACC education.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks for the opportunity to...
You're welcome.
At ACC.
You're welcome.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.